All right, Tyler Perry fans. Now, again, you all know my tech situation I've been going through in regards to my computer and phone and whatnot. And I was at home for a few days, last week running into this week. So I didn't watch the Emmys live, not that I would have anyway. But this is a congratulations to Tyler Perry for winning the Governor's Award from the Emmys. And this video was kind of just my reaction to his acceptance speech about his grandmother's quilt. And I gotta say, and I was talking with somebody about this off YouTube, of course, but I said to this person, I said, I know we talk a lot about the whole Tyler Perry writing thing and how it really isn't that good in recent projects, but if there's one thing this man can give an inspiring speech. Like, I love the grandmother's quilt analogy, and it was great. It's almost 4 minutes long. You can find it on YouTube, on like ABC or Access YouTube channel, but just type in Emmys 2020 Tyler Perry, and it's one of the first videos that pops up. And there was one line I felt like, I felt it in the gut, is when he said that when he was in an antique shop, because he didn't understand what the significance of the quilt his grandmother gave him when he left home at 19, and he would use it to dry the dog off or lay it on the ground. He was changing his oil in the car. And then when he went to an antique shop, when he could afford to go there, one of the workers told him the significance of a quilt that was hanging on display, which looked kind of similar to the one his grandmother had. And he's like, here I am priding myself and saying that, I represent the black culture and I celebrate and uplift us, but I didn't understand the significance of that quilt. Like, just because the quilt didn't look like what I thought it should, I diminished the value of it. Now, I know I'm not trying to sound conceited here, but in the way when I heard that one line, I'm like, ooh, is that how I'm treating Tyler Perry's quilt? Like, Tyler Perry's quilt, like the different patches represent different things of his life. So there's a patch for the Pains, a patch for Sisters, a patch for House of Pain season 9, Assisted Living, Have and Have Nots. Like, for me to critique these shows and review them, am I diminishing the quilt that Tyler Perry's making? No, not really. I just want better quality, but it was a very powerful analogy. So I love the fact that, and I always give props to Tyler Perry when, I give props. So don't think I'm a person that just comes up on here. No, ain't no need of saying that. Y'all been on the channel long enough. And for newbies, you look at the channel and you could tell that I feel like I talk more positive than negative. And when I talk negative, I pretty much let everybody know why I'm speaking that way. But the one thing somebody can never say about Tyler Perry is the opportunity. Sure, the writer's room thing, let's forget about that for a second. But the people who work behind the scenes, who work on the property, who work on the sets, and it's just phenomenal. More often than not, the best way to describe Tyler Perry is, I guess you could say, wrapping his quilt around others who normally wouldn't be able to have a quilt wrapped around them. What I mean by that is, Tyler is making patches for these individuals in their own quilt, or I guess you could say by Tyler opening his quilt for other people, if you will, he's allowing them to put patches in their own quilt. Like a person who was an ex-con or someone who came out to their family and disowned, like they felt like their quilt would be filled with nothing but pain and sorrow, missed opportunities, rejection. But Tyler Perry offered them a job to work building the set of the Oval, or Tyler Perry offering them a job to help put together the set for the Madea farewell tour. That would leave a powerful, positive patch on their quilt. So let me stop before I go into to my own quilt story, if you will, based on Tyler's. But there's no need of doing that. All I got to say is Tyler and his work, even the projects I don't like as much as the ones I love, Tyler Perry, knows it or not, he's a reason that I have a patch on my quilt, metaphorically, of being able to work from home, be self-employed, create content, be my own boss. And wherever this YouTube thing leads to, I got to give props to Tyler Perry for his creation being the haves and the have-nots. Again, adding quilts, patches to the lives of those who worked on the show or work on the show. If he hadn't created that show, then my YouTube channel probably wouldn't exist the way it does now. So yeah, again, kudos to Tyler Perry for winning that award. For what it's worth, I think your grandmother would be, and your mother would be very proud, not only of the realization you had when it came to how you treated the quilt that she gave you, but also the quilt that you've been making with the incredible strides and accomplishments you've been doing in your life so far. Not to mention, as I said before in the video, the fact that you have put patches on other people's quilts that will influence them to hopefully do for other people what you did for them too. So Tyler Perry doing his thing for others hopefully inspires them to do the same for others as well. Now, I'm not saying that the one person he helps will have a studio as big as Tyler Perry Studios and will allow people to work there, but somebody that he, helped in some way, shape, or form probably inspired them to open a bakery or a laundromat or start their own filming company or whatever the case may be, and then they could pay it forward by giving people an opportunity who may not have had an opportunity under normal circumstances. So all that's to say, because I feel like I'm talking in circles here, congrats to Tyler Perry. Keep being an inspiration. Still wish a lot of these shows had better writing, but dang it, let's not diminish this video. Just another powerful, I don't want to diminish it, another great accomplishment for your trophy case. And I know it's going to look good in your new mansion. Invite a brother down at some point. I'm just playing. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, check out the Emmy speech. Like I said, it's not even 4 minutes long. I think it's very powerful. It's right up there with the whole own your stuff or ownership he gave at the BET Awards last year, I think. So again, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to hold a trophy when we hit 1 million subscribers. Could I get that award then? I know that's going to be one heck of a quilt patch, if you will. But again, guys, thanks so much. Congrats, Tyler, and I'll talk to you all soon.